Hello, welcome to Digital Systems 1. I am so glad you made it to this course. I know most of you all, based on the roster, and so I'm excited to have you again this semester. Now, this class is online, so we will not be meeting in person, but what I will do is offer certain topics, a lecture on Teams, because I feel like it may help you better if you have a lecture from me as opposed to just watching the video, but it will be optional since this is an online. Now, we have a mandatory meeting, though, on Wednesday via Teams at 1 o'clock. So this is mandatory because I'm going to tell you all about the course and the expectations. So make sure you put that on your schedule. All right, so the first thing you need to do is go to Start Here and go through everything that's in Start Here, okay? Because it's all very important. I'm just going to go over a couple of things with you. Today we'll talk about more during the introduction lecture. One thing I want to remind you to do, if you haven't already done it, is to download the OneDrive app. You're going to be saving a lot of different files, and if you put them in the cloud, it's just going to be easier to access, whether or not you're doing labs on campus or at home. You don't have to worry about carrying around a flash drive. There are some lab kit components that you're going to be required to get. Now, you don't have to get the lab kit components if you don't plan to do your lab at home, but if you do, you're going to need to get these components, and if, you never know what's going to happen. And so if you have the components and sometimes you want to do it at home, you can, and if other times you want to come into the lab and do it, you can. So it's just up to you. If you want to do labs online, though, you have to make sure you have a non-integrated webcam. That means you have a webcam that you can move around so that the lab tutor can check you off, so they can see your circuit closely and check you off. So, for example, if I wanted to show the lab tutor this circuit, right, I need a camera that I can kind of zoom in on if they ask me to, or zoom out. If it's integrated into your laptop, you can't do that, okay? So, and when you're dealing with like a smaller breadboard like this one, you really are going to need to zoom in and zoom out if you want to get checked off, right? You're probably going to need a larger breadboard than the one that came with your Arduino kit if you don't already have one, just to make your life easier. You could probably use it, but everything is going to be so compressed in that breadboard that you may want to consider getting a larger one, but it's up to you. You are going to need a DMM. Okay, you should have gotten one in intro if you've been in this program. So make sure you have a DMM. You don't have to get a fancy one like this if you're going to buy a new one, but you do need one. You don't need it a lot, but you'll just need it a couple of times this semester for this class. So if you don't buy one, you could definitely use the one in the lab. You need your calculator, and you need some components. So let's talk about the component list. Now, the list that I have, there is a list that this company called Electronics Express can send to you. I don't suggest you order it from them because they have not been the best. Their components have been cheap, and I just don't highly recommend them. I recommend you try to get it from Micro Center if you can. But the things that you will need are on this list, okay? So a 2-input NAND, a 3-input NAND. So you just go down and you need all these different components. And what I have given you are the CMOS components. There is a 7400 series of components that you could use as well, TTL, but they cost more, and so that's why I've given you this list. The ones in the lab will be the 7400 series components. So if you go to the lab on campus and do your labs, the names of your chips will be different, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so that's your list, your component list. Let's see if there's anything else that you really need to know today. So if we go to lessons, and then remember these how-to videos, they show you how to do things that you will probably need to do in this class. We go to week 1, the no-show assignment. You always need to get that done the first week of class. Not only do you have to get the no-show week assignment, you have to do the assignments for the first week of class in order to remain in the class. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, I think that's about all you need for now. Once again, we will meet on Teams on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. I've already sent you a Teams invitation. Take care.